Really quiet.
A little cold-blooded. All right, so it's Saturday and I'm back at Roseville Moparts. I got to pick up some parts, working on my car. As you know, I have it in pieces, so I'm missing a couple things. I had to come up here and talk to Ryan, but you know, we went into the back and Ryan says that they got this really, really cool Challenger RT 1970. So we're with him right now. So hey Ryan, why don't you give us a rundown on this beautiful car?
Yeah, so I don't know if you got a video of the convertible, but basically we have a local guy who collects rather rare cars, and this is one of the other rare cars, rare Challengers he has. 70 Challenger RT SE, so special edition. Gets a little bit extra badging. This has got a different taillight panel. It's got this extra piece right here.
Okay.
Door top moldings are super rare. You cannot find those. I'm assuming this car was restored a little while ago because it's really, 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 really nice. A lot of things are not, let's say, over restored, but it's definitely well restored, very well. The other Challenger he's got basically the same color, same everything, same stripe, but it's a convertible 446 pack 4-speed Dana car. This is the exact same setup. So 446 pack 4-speed Dana, but this one RTSE instead of a convertible, and this one has the shaker hood, whereas the other one had an RT top, so the RT hood. So
wow, super clean, man.
yeah, supposedly from what they were saying is that this is actually the original Argent on the bubble. They didn't restore the bubble.
Okay.
It was too nice for them to redo it, so they just cleaned it and made it look nice. But everything else is pretty clean. It's in here for some cosmetic stuff, like the upper radiator hose is leaking, and we're just gonna safety check it, kinda.
Sure.
Not really safety check it, because at least it still drives and brakes and everything, but just kind of like check the brakes, make sure they're not worn out, make sure none of the bushings are worn out. You know, kind of just go over the car, but
sure,
the car is super clean and really isn't going to need much, most likely. So
really is.
So the convertible was
the lock switch was in the.
Yeah, so lock
like
switch
that.
on the e-bodies are here, and this is because it's an SE, it's a special edition. Normally on a normal Challenger, it's got the frat sog right here, the little triangle badge.
Okay.
So, but pistol
Okay,
grip,
so
4-speed,
right.
non-AC, because 6-packs, none of them were AC cars, because there's no way, especially shakers, none of them were AC.
Console's not standard, right? That's an additional thing?
No, it's it's not a standard option, but it's an upgrade option. So when you got bucket seats, I think you could option for the center console. I don't know if it just came standard with the center console. The e-body guys know more than me with that stuff, but typically most bucket seat cars usually would have a console in them. Most likely the only time you didn't really see a console is if you had a bench seat or a buddy seat. Even though it's still a 4-speed on the floor, you can still have a buddy seat.
But the one up top?
Oh, the upper top console, that's a SE only.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, so the special edition, so like the Cuda Grand Coupe and the Challenger SEs got that top light, and that basically had like a seatbelt warning light, some other things up top. And the headliner is not a conventional bow headliner, it's actually foam.
Oh, yeah?
So if you actually look at it, it's not, because of the top, it's not actually, it doesn't have any bows in it, it's actually foam. So if you feel it, it's more like neoprene rather than anything else. And you can see, get the door jar, seatbelt light on top. The dome light's different. It's not like your standard dome light that you would get in a conventional B-body or E-body.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, and this car is special order with houndstooth. Yeah, it's just a really clean RTSE.
Sure is.
So like much like the Black Ghost, this is how the Black Ghost interior would look. Houndstooth, overhead console, pretty much everything.
Wow.
The only difference is this is a 6-pack, whereas his was a Hemi. So
yeah, very sharp car. Yeah, very nice. you were saying that this is pretty early build.
Yeah, so the build production day was scheduled for September 22nd. Supposedly to the door tag was September of 69.
Okay, 69, yeah.
But the sequence number puts the car at like 425. So it's a really, really, really early build car. Normally they start usually third, fourth quarter. So usually July, August, September is when they first start doing the changeover cars. So like in 70. So like January, February, March, April, May, June, that's typically your end of production for that year. Between second and third quarters when they switch production over, and then starting in August and September is when they start doing the next model year. So like this would have been produced, this car would have been on the dealer lot in 1969.
Yeah,
And probably was either special ordered as either a dealer car or a customer order car, or a dealer manager wanted to order the car, or it's hard to say. I mean, the Challengers and Cudas, a lot of the early cars were usually dealer specials, or kind of like what today with like the Scat Packs and the Hellcats, a lot of the dealers order them in. Like one dealer may have ordered this car and ordered like 3 more colors exactly the same way. They would have ordered like an orange, a green, a blue, and a purple. Because the mentality is you got to have 7 cars to sell one.
Okay.
So typically you got to show everybody, okay, you know, this one's orange, but it's got an SE package, so it's got the better headliner and some other stuff, you know.
Well, people like options, right? I know I do.
Yeah, but back in the day,
Different
you know, this would have been
colors
your high dollar, you know, like on a Maroney report, this probably was your $4,000 to $5,000 car probably, you know, your upper end. You know, even though it's not a Hemi, it's still the best interior package. This, so like it goes standard Challenger, SE, RT, and then RT SE. So like you could have an SE Charger, but not be an RT SE. So a Challenger, you could have an SE, but just not an RT SE, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So like you could have an SE, but it'd just be like a 318, 904, or a 3-speed manual, you know. The RT SE is more of your high dollar, you know, upper end echelon
The
car.
highest options, yeah.
But whereas like the Cuda specifically, you couldn't get a Cuda SE because they called it the Grand Coupe. So for the Barracuda, you had just the Barracuda base model, and then you had the Grand Coupe, and then you had the Cuda. So whereas Dodge really just did, for their whole entire model, like basically through the Corvette, the Charger, and the Challenger, you could get, you know, a base model, SE, RT, and then an RT SE. So Corvettes really were just RT or whatever. I don't think they had an SE, can't remember, but Chargers, you could get an SE or an RT, and then I think you could get an RT SE, but I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
Still learning.
Sorry. I won't,
Challengers I know
are
are
just any of that, you know.
right. Yeah, the RT SE specifically is, I think, mainly a Challenger option, but I don't.
It's a very cool car. I mean, it's sharp. I love the color.
And the nice thing too is the back window is smaller on the SEs for specifically the Challengers. It's really weird. So they have this weird plug in the back to make it narrow, kind of like like a Superbird did like a flush bit wing.
they had
so
the plug up
so you can
there,
see kind of like where the byline's at. They kind of, you know, filled it in. So it's a smaller back window, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because now you're thinking about, okay, it's a driver's car. What do you got to do if you got to look behind you? You know, check a blind spot. You just made it 6 inches bigger, you know. So
Well, it's all in the design and what people liked and the looks, you know.
yeah, but
Very cool though. Well, thanks for showing me the car.
yeah, always.
All right. Yeah, so we'll stop in here from time to time and check out, you know, what's going on and what's new and things like that. But I'll keep the videos coming. Make sure you subscribe. Thanks for joining us.